not just in your everyday life, for example, mannerisms and relationships, but also why standards have to be maintained when it comes to goods and services. Do you know the rights of consumers and retailers when it comes to standards and consumer rights? Stay with us and get answers on tonight's The Law Factor Live.
The views expressed in this program are those of the host and guests and in no way represent those of DBS and are not intended to determine decision-making processes. The Law Factor Live is produced by Delia Dollar Productions and Consultancy and sponsored by Paradise Water, EC Global Insurance, Quartz St. Lucia Limited, Infinity Color Shop, Ference Dairy, Star Publishing, Transit TV, Sea Island Cotton Shop, Chart House, Rodney Bay Medical Center, Ladera Resort.
Hello, welcome to The Law Factor Live. I'm Delia Delore. What do you know about standards? A lot of us think we do, and then when we're questioned, we don't. So tonight we want you to fully understand that in order to improve our economy, we must ensure certain measures are in place. Just as you would ensure your child grows up with manners and respect, it is essential that you understand why certain goods and services must be supervised to ensure businesses are conducting themselves satisfactorily. Our guests tonight are Dr. McCabe Walcott, the Director of the St. Lucia Bureau of Standards, and Lucia Zephyrin of Coolwater Day Spa. Later we'll be joined on the phone by Leonis Francois of the Rainforest of Reading program. Well, welcome ladies. It's a pleasure that you're both here on the set because I know that you're all both very extremely busy ladies. So welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Delia.
Good. Now, it's first time on the DFL set for you both, right?
Yes, it is.
Good. Is it as you expected it would be? Because a lot of people, when they come here, they think, oh, it's not the way that it looks like on the television. Does it look like? How does it feel like to be on the set tonight?
It feels like home.
Feels like home. Great. Great. We like that because, of course, most of our viewers know that we do like to discuss and laugh, but at the same time be as informative as we can with them. So thank you so much, Dr. Walker, for being here, because I know that you're always in and out of the island and very, very busy, so I know you had to make the time, so we appreciate that.
Thank you for having me, and it is indeed a pleasure being here tonight to discuss standards and how standards are important to our everyday life.
Yeah, and you see a little smile on her face. You can tell that it's something she really enjoys doing, you know. So we look forward to that. Now, last week I want to thank everyone. We had such a great response on our show last week talking about dealing with disabilities. Of course, we had Impy Milner on the set talking about being temporarily disabled. And also we had my granddaughter Savannah on the set, and a lot of people, I think DBS turned that little girl into a superstar because everywhere she walked everyone was like, oh, you're so gorgeous, and she was laughing and talking to them and so on. So thank you so much. A lot of people said that they were very embarrassed and ashamed to be St. Lucians, that we weren't as welcoming as we could be or we should be for those persons who are disabled, and we got lots and lots of response, or I should say correspondence from disabled persons who said that sometimes, most of the times, their stories were worse than what they heard last week. So I'm mentioning this now because I want us to remember that we may be able-bodied today or able-minded today, but we don't know what's happening in the future. So please, let's just be very careful, and let's be very caring to those less fortunate to us. I'd also want to say thank you very much to Camilla Joseph of Auberge Seraphine, who actually hosted my grandson Damien's 3rd birthday today at Auberge. Her and her staff, thank you so much. You're wonderful. And there's my grandson blowing his cake at Auberge. So thank you so much to her, the staff who watched the show as well and were like amazed at the treatment of children who are disabled. So thank you so much for that. Okay, now I have some bags behind me, you will see later on. They're from EC Global Insurance, one of our sponsors, who actually came to celebrate our 2nd birthday party with us at Chart House a couple of weeks ago. And they gave us 2 gifts for two two fans, and we have chosen them to be Leah Edwards and Gideon Augustine. Now, we've chosen them because I think those people have watched practically every single show, and if they haven't, they always call up and say, why not? And they're always participating. So inside those wonderful bags, and I'll show you in a second, lots of wonderful goodies, but I think the one that you're going to like the best is the fact that they're going to give you, or provide you with an unbeatable insurance quote, and they have promised that at EC Global Insurance. So thank you very much to Lethan Khan and his team for that, and for constantly being on our side. Now, that being said, I want to find out from our two guests tonight what they're hoping that we're going to be achieving tonight. So, Dr. Walker, what's on your mind when you think, okay, at the end of the show, I would like people to understand this?
I think at the end of tonight's discussion, what I would like for the audience to take away is that the organization which I represent, the St. Lucia Bureau of Standards, is really an organization that is there to enhance the quality of life of St. Lucians by utilizing standards. Standards are used not only to regulate business, but we're also there to ensure consumer health and safety, as well as protecting the environment. The work that we do is very practical and applicable to everyone's day-to-day life.
Okay, so that's a tall order. Let's see if we can fit that in under 90 minutes. Lucia,
yes,
what would you like people to understand or take away with them at the end of the show tonight?
Representing the Spa Association, and our focus here right now is to ensure that everybody can join the association, and as they said, lots of people can make things happen, and as a result, I'm here to ask everybody if they want to nail tech, the barbers, the salons, to come on board to join the association to start making things happen for us here.
Okay, now you've said that, but one thing I would also like to add on that is so that the customers understand that those persons you've just mentioned, you know, people who own spas and barbering shops and so on and so forth, that the customers understand that they do have to practice safety, and they have to, there's no shortcuts and things like that. So I'd like them to go home and realize that there are not shortcuts. In some services, it's of no one's benefit to produce a shortcut or a cheaper service. So I think that I'd like us to assist the viewers to understand that.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, now we're not going to get away with our traditional two in a row. So before I go into our giveaways tonight, Dr. Walker, I want you to tell us what irks you to the point that you could just burst into tears.
Well, I think it does not take a lot to have me burst into tears, and usually I do it out of frustration most times. I think what really irks me is when you see people not, you know, making an effort to be the best that they can be, and somehow I think, unfortunately, in our society, mediocrity seems to have crept in into our day-to-day lives to an extent where it actually seems to be acceptable. So that can really, you know, irk me from time to time.
You know, your response surprises me. You know why? Because I think that with the title of director, you know, of the St. Lucia Bureau of Standards, it's like I'm expecting a kind of school teacherish kind of person, someone who's like firm and, you know, and it would take a lot to, you know, I thought she was going to say, oh, I never burst into tears, you know?
No, I think as a matter of fact, it helps in my position to be very relatable to people and know how to communicate no matter whom you're speaking with, and to understand the situation that you're in from time to time. So you have to be flexible and know how to adapt to the situation and the persons with whom you want to communicate.
Well, you know, certain people here, and you say that, may think, oh, I wish this lady would transfer to the VAT office. I shouldn't say that, because the VAT office are very friendly now. But you know, the kind of assumption that people used to have about, you know, taxis and so on and so forth, they'd be afraid and so on. They're relaxing on that now. So, so when you said that, I just thought, VAT office.
Well, as a matter of fact, we recently interacted with the VAT office, and we've had a tremendous relationship with them. So far it's been really good. We've been able to pick up the phone at the spur of the moment and ask questions. I think my finance officer did that about 2 or 3 times today. So bringing up the VAT office is really an good example, because I think based on the feedback, there has been some tremendous improvement in relation to their customer service.
Okay, thank you. And very briefly, Lucia, because we need to go to a break, your question is, tell us about one of the most proudest moments of your life.
Presently, the proudest moment of my life is my son, who always had a knack for drawing since he was a little boy. And today he's working for one of the biggest architectural companies in Manhattan. So that makes me very proud.
Wow,
Yes.
that's a wonderful thing when a mother can say that they're very proud of their child. And I always say, sometimes it's not exactly what you're doing, but how you do it. And a lot of parents want to say to their children, they must do this, they must have this career path. But ultimately, I think that the most prized thing is to have a relationship with your children. That's a really proud thing. So thank you very much.
Welcome.
Now, our painting on set this week is an original canvas titled 3 Lotuses. This painting is available at the Inner Gallery, St. Lucia's premier art and picture framing gallery located along the Bois de Wash Highway. Office space is also available for rent in the Inner Gallery building along the Bois de Wash Highway, where parking is easy. So call 457-8728, that's 457-8728, for more details on office space rental in the Inner Gallery building. Here's our giveaway tonight. Ladera was the first resort in the Caribbean to introduce the open-air 3-wall concept. What decade did this happen? The 70s? 80s or 90s? Ladera was the first resort in the Caribbean to introduce the open-air 3-wall concept. What decade did this happen? The 70s, 80s or 90s? The winner will receive brunch for 4 at the Dasheen restaurant at Ladera any Sunday in October 2013, where they're going to be having this wonderful, wonderful brunch. All right, so stay with us. When we come back, we're going to talk about standards. See you soon.